It's funny though we're having this debate like, oh, film snob and stuff, but then I'm like loving researching and watching these fucking Soviet war films from the 1970s.
But yeah, this is literally.
It's like
I go
it's
through
film snob land that I'm in right now, but
yeah, I think it's way better. It's properly engaging in your hobby. That's a way. It's identifying.
It's delving deep.
Identifying that it's a hobby, and then this is how you truly explore it and then get better at it. And it's a way to actually improve at it as well. It gives it more purpose for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're like it's like mining, and you can research these films and you think, oh god, that sounds like an interesting one, and then you find it on like somewhere and you watch it and you're like, oh my god, I struck gold. I would have never have seen that, but now I know this film, and you know I've got that, and like no one else around me has seen it.
And it's even interesting finding a bad film. Like I watched Suspiria, it's 1977 horror film that is like critically acclaimed to be a unique fucking rude piece of art. And when I watched it, it was I genuinely thought this is bad film, dubbed terribly. It's not. It doesn't hold up with any of its gore or horror aspects, and the best part is the score. I know we've talked about it.
I remember you mentioning this. Yeah.
But I still watched the whole thing, and then I can still say like, oh, I've seen that. I can have a conversation about it if it was ever brought up, and I can see that bit because that's Italian, a bit of horror art. That's Italian artwork that I've engaged in. I didn't take to it, but because of the hobby that I'm interested in, I put the effort in to engage in it.
Yeah, I mean the last film that I fully I think I had to turn off. Oh no, yeah, there was a shitty comedy, like some American comedy that I watched on my last ship because I had nothing else to watch. I turned that off. But the last film that I wanted to watch because of like the hobby of being into films and you want to watch these great films is this one called 8.5 minutes by like
it's by this Sex Tape I made with your sister.
It's by this Italian director, and it's a really interesting sounding plot. The plot is like some filmmaker is having like writer's block, like he can't think of anything to do, and then I think he has like a couple of dreams, and it gives him the idea, and he makes a film called 8.5 minutes. I think that's what it is, and it's like it's black and white. It was made in maybe the 60s, and I turned it off. It's just dull as dishwater, and I was really, really disappointed. But a mate of mine watched it and he fucking loved it. So I don't know if it just gets better or whatever. But
it is funny, isn't it? How like
I'm getting into it.
You can have an opinion about a film, and you're like, yeah, like so. For example, when I was in school, we watched the English teacher said like, oh, we're gonna watch
what?
Fucking aneurysm.
Just
Galaxy
name
Quest.
a film.
He said we're going to watch Galaxy Quest, right?
Okay.
And
is that actually what he said? Or have you just said that?
No, it is actually what he said. He said we're going to watch Galaxy Quest.
You sure it wasn't Schindler's List?
Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't Schindler's List.
See, they're similar.
I'll
Galaxy
take your word
Quest.
for it. And so I was like the only person in the class who'd seen it. And I was like, holy shit, like this is gonna be great. I can't believe it. I can't believe this is the film we're gonna watch. And like I fucking love Galaxy Quest. I think it's absolutely hilarious. And I was bigging it up to all my mates. I was like, guys, this film's fucking funny as fuck. Like you're gonna love it. No one liked it.
Yeah.
No one in the class liked it. They all didn't.
Is that because they all hated you?
Yeah, they were. Yeah. Yeah.
Is it an old
I don't
film?
know.
Is
You're like
it-
some
is it-
dweeb
19
fucking snotting all over your nose. Oh, I fucking love this film, guys. I'm like, oh, fucking hell.
1999.
Yeah. You see, something
Um,
very similar happened when I was in primary. It was coming up to the Christmas break, and the Christmas Carol film with Jim Carrey had just come out. It's a good film. I thought.
Is that like this sort of? Is that the animated one?
Yeah,
It's
the
like
animated one.
eerily animated. It's like quite real. It's like realistic.
Yeah, and it isn't
Oh,
really very
Polar
funny.
Express.
It's quite harrowing.
Yeah.
No, made by the same director, actually.
That's
oh,
Tom Hanks.
Oh, the Grinch one. No, not the
No.
Grinch.
Christmas Carol.
Christmas Carol.
No, yeah. With
Scrooge.
The Scrooge. That's who I was thinking of, not the Grinch.
Yes. So that one had just come out, and so this girl in my class brought in Christmas Carol, and we were all like, "Fuck, she's got the new film! Oh my god, yes!" And it was this black and white 1950s
Oh, that's
British
well
version.
shit. That one.
And the class turned it off, and she was so embarrassed because she had
I'd be
grown up
embarrassed
watching
as
it every
fuck.
year, and she loved it. And yeah, we all fucking
I'd have
hated
killed
it.
myself.
So
Yeah.
she left the school, changed
Yeah,
schools.
she was bullied horrifically for
yeah.
next year.
Yeah,
No one brought in a film next year out of fear.
yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. The same thing happened to me at school, right? Because it was in year 3.
No way.
You know, yeah, but it's a bit different. So like, we were told to like bring in something, like bring in a film or whatever, because we could. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna bring in Doctor Who because it's sick. And this other guy brought in National Treasure,
Much
and
better film.
I really wanted to get the approval from everyone and everyone to watch Doctor Who because I'm a fucking perma-virgin, and
We were big into Doctor Who back in the day.
and like it was
You're
it
not
was like
helping
it
us,
was like
guys.
50-50. It was 50-50 in the class of like what to watch, and
You were begging. You're on your knees at
Yeah,
the front,
but-
like, please.
Yeah, but hold on.
no.
How long is National Treasure compared to an episode of Doctor Who?
Yeah, I think we watched like a couple episodes of Doctor Who or something like that.
Okay,
There was like two 45-minute episodes, but I've spoiled it now because Doctor Who won. But this is why they won. So we worked out National Treasure was a PG, yeah? And so we were like, oh. And then someone said there was a swear in it. So we straight up went to the teacher and was like, Miss, there's a swear in that. We can't watch it. We better watch Doctor Who instead. And fucking won. And
Absolutely based.
the reception was not great. Even I felt a bit uneasy.
But it's like
watching
it's
it.
like when
I
you show
feel
your
like the
mates
effort was
a
not worth
YouTube
the
video.
fucking. Say again.
It's like when you show your mates a YouTube video. You're like, oh, watch this, lads, it'll be really funny. And like,
Yeah, and they're
if
just
you're
sat
in
there
person,
silence.
it's never good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's always a risk.
It's like recommending music is always very hard.
I hate when
Unless-
Christian does that.
I was gonna say, unless you know the person's tastes quite well. I
You clearly
think
don't
your
know my
It's
taste-
taste
weird
well
because
at all.
you know my taste and you know that I wouldn't like the music you keep recommending. So stop recommending it.
This is a plea for help. I'm begging you.
Fine. I'll stop.
I did it for comedic purposes. Sorry.
Yeah, I actually
But I
love
threw
being
you
recommended
under
music.
several buses.
You are deceased.
Do you remember which episodes you watched that were a bit risque?
It wasn't risky. It was just like the amount of effort
Not
I
good.
put in to get people to watch it. It was just kind of like embarrassing.
You hyped it up beyond what it could have possibly
Yeah,
been.
and I think you
But
did as well with yours. I
surely-
think you
I
did.
did, yeah.
And I think
But
Christian, you might have done.
really good. I stand
Oh, no,
by
you
it.
wouldn't
It's
have
a
done
great
it.
film.
Yeah, no.
It wasn't my film. It wasn't
Right.
my film. So
But,
I
it
was
was-
totally in the clear.
It was the David Tennant Cybermen episode.
That's a good one.
Oh yeah, it's where the Cybermen come and like hostage
You know
everyone in that
something?
house and shit.
You know something? I never
I do
liked
know.
the Cybermen episodes.
No, I wouldn't.
I always thought they were
wouldn't
dull.
watch them.
I
wouldn't
like the
watch
gas
them.
mask children ones.
Yeah,
I like
they're
Gas.
good. Blink. Those were the classics.
Gas and kids.
When
And the Ood. The Ood were quite. The
Yeah.
angels. The angels, they were the
Angels
but-
are scary.
the weeping angels that fucking shit me up as a kid.
Yeah.
Blink.
Stephen
I'll say
Moffat.
again.
Yeah, the episode was called Blink. So Stephen Moffat, he was the guy who came up with Weeping Angels and the Gas Mask Children.
He's a bit of a creep.
No, yeah, he was
But
he generally
sick
came
in
up
the
with the
head.
scariest episodes, and then
Stephen Moffat's a brilliant writer.
what was
did
his
the Sherlock
first
series.
something T Davies?
Russell
T Davies. So his were like really good storytelling.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure he still writes them, and they're
Ah.
shit these days.
Yeah, well, we all
The
know
Jodie
like
Whittaker
David Tennant, and Christopher Eccleston,
Christopher
and
Eccleston.
Matt Smith at a push. They were peak. They're the peak.
Christopher
Yeah,
Eccleston's a true northerner, and he was in G.I. Joe.
It really should have, and it was in 28 Days Later, and it really, just saying.
And Billy Piper's hot as fuck. Well, she
Fuck yeah.
was. I don't know what she looks like now, actually.
Probably had like 10 surgeries. That's libelous. She's gonna sue Qwak Fug.
No.
That'd be a good way to get publicity, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Qwak Fug, internet's latest stars. How did they rise to fame? Sued by Billy Piper for calling her ugly.
Oh, Billy.
Billy Piper, if you're listening, fuck you.
Suck
mean-
me.
Yeah.
I want you to suck me, daddy.
She-
That'd be really
He's
weird if
also a
Billy
singer.
Piper would listen to it.
Yeah,
was
Really,
also
that
a
out of
really
all the
weird.
Yes.
What would be the weirdest person to listen to Qwak Fug regular?
King Charles III.
Yeah, royalty. Easy.
No, I reckon
He'd love
Camilla. Camilla gets down on this.
You should probably cut that.
Fine. Yeah, no point risking it. Anyway, let's go take the king, I guess.
Here's Wonderwall.
Today.
that about-
Where are you?
Is that about royalty? Was that about Diana?
No, but it was like cutting like radio. It was like radio.
Oh, right.
Oh my god. You're such a
that?
boomer.
Candle in the wind.
Anyway, here's Wonderwall is a very old meme.
All right. Okay. Well, what's a meme?
Like every
What does
dude
meme
at a
stand
party-
for? Is it like an acronym?
No.
What is it?
The word predates memes, obviously, as we know them. It's because Richard Dawkins talks
It's the
about
meme
memes
law.
from a psychological perspective. It's about like human interaction. I think.
What?
I don't know enough about it to talk about it credibly.
Well,
I'll
on
talk about it
that
incredibly. Basically,
on that cock tease.
Just on a side note, TJ, did you know that he's Kevin Smith made a Clerks 3?
who the
When?
fuck is Kevin Smith?
Came out 13th of September this year. Following a massive heart attack, Randall enlists his friends and fellow clerks Dante, Elias, Jay, and Silent Bob to
Clarks.
make a movie immortalizing his life at the convenience store.
It's pronounced Clarks.
It's weird that like it's had like no publicity. I've not
It's
heard of
'cause-
it.
Kevin Smith's career has really gone downhill.
Well, since Zack and Miri make a porno.
Well, yeah, he made all those, like,
Is
his
he
last
Silent
great
Bob?
film. Yes, Silent Bob, yeah.
You'd
Apparently
really
Brad
like
Pitt's-
Clerks. You'd really
Clerks.
like it. Clerks. Not a fucking shoe shop, mate.
Isn't it?
First,
Why
first
isn't it
Clerks
pronounced
is really
Clarks?
Because it's
spelled
spelled
with an E.
CLERKS.
RKS.
Shop
That's what I'm
clerk.
talking about. You said it was about a shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about a
But
convenience store.
in America,
People
they're
who
called
work-
clerks.
Yeah, people who work
Most
behind
American.
the counter in America are called a clerk, a shop clerk.
Why would we watch a film about the fucking chain of fucking shoe shops called Clark's?
Because you like kids and feet.
Also,
Kids'
it was a BAFTA award winner.
Um, it brings about these special emotions in me. Bullet Train,
Shit.
In my
Brad Pitt.
pants.
Apparently, that one's not such a hot film.
Bullet Train. Not
In
into that
Bullet
one neither.
Train, Brad Pitt
So-
stars as Ladybug, An unlucky assassin determined to do his job peacefully after one too many gigs gone off the rails. Fate, however, may have other plans.
Sometimes the what is that? Is that a blurb? What would you call it? Synopsis.
Description.
Synopsis.
Yeah, sure.
They can ruin your impression of a film. Whoever's fucking writing them on Netflix.
For Netflix.
Needs to stop.
It's put me off so many films that I'm sure I've
needs to stop.
No. Yeah. They always, every film, no matter what it is, it could be the most badass film, it could be a serious drama. They always try and write them the same way.
Yeah.
They always try and
don't read them.
Badass.
Yeah, but you need to read them a little bit.
You know what I mean?
Why?
Well, I need to know what the fucking film's about.
Why? Do you watch trailers?
No, I don't.
I don't watch trailers
anymore. I don't want to know the entire plot before I watch the film.
No.
But you'll read a blurb. Okay.
Yeah.
Hypocrite. That's so hypocritical.
Yeah, but because the problem with trailers is they show too much.
And the blurb doesn't.
Not usually, no.
No, not at all.
Blurb tends to do what it's supposed to do.
Blurbs say what the film is about. Trailers say what the film is.
Yeah, like trailers literally
just
give
go
you
in
the
blind.
Film. Well, I do some when I've heard of the title and like I've heard people talk about it, I'll just go for it. So like, I know we've been talking about End of Watch quite a bit, but I saw it today, so get over it.
Did you?
But like, I saw a little tiny snippet because you know when Netflix sort of auto plays, and it was like Jake Gyllenhaal playing a cop, and it was quite a good bit of dialogue between him and this other person. I was like, all right, I can sort of picture where that might go. And then I just checked Rotten Tomatoes, and it was fucking 80-odd% critics, 90-odd% audience. And when there's that, you're laughing. It's going to be a good film. You got a good chance. And so I didn't read any of the blurb. I didn't look at any more. I just pressed play.
I wish I'd read the blurb about the one about Tom Hardy in the car the whole time, because if I'd known he was in the car the whole time and nothing changed, I wouldn't have watched it.
Yeah, I don't think the blurb would have said he's in the car the whole time.
Yeah, by the way, viewers, he doesn't get out of the car.
Yeah, but I mean, were you listening to it? Like, it's really tense, that film.
Very quickly switched off. I was very bored.
Yeah, I guess it's a bit of a niche film. To be fair, it's one reason why I haven't seen it.
It's really good. I've tried Buried. Really I got a bit sick of Buried. Really good premise, concept, but it really challenging to make a film like that. I think they've done well for what it is, but yeah.
What do you think about Kung Fu Panda?
Epic. Top 10 films all the time.
It genuinely is probably my favourite film.
I noticed they added Kung Fu Panda and Interstellar.
Yeah.
Just interesting. I noticed they added Monster House to Netflix. I've put that on the list. Cannot wait to watch that again. Yeah. It's such a fucking good film. I am just waiting for the animation to be like, oh my god, this was good animation back in the day.
Yeah.
It's 2005, but it's gonna be great.
That was a shame with Homeward Bound. To turn that off instantly.
Yeah.
It's really sad. What do you have a favourite film?
Kung Fu Panda.
All time. Yeah, I know you've said.
Me?
Why did you ask?
Got through you. Yeah, I'm asking.
Oh god.
Oh, sorry. Everything's always about me, you see. That's why.
It changes so often, but I guess maybe.
Yeah.
I guess maybe Dances with Wolves. Because it's got everything that I like in a film.
What's your guilty pleasure film?
That's a good question.
It
has to be something like pretty stupid and like light-hearted.
Great film.
And they put Son of Rambo on Netflix. You seen that? seen that years ago.
I haven't seen it in years, but
It's the Brave Fighters of the Mujahideen.
I am the son of Rambo. You want to be the son of Rambo? That guy's gone on to be in a load of films. That his mate,
Poulter.
he was in. Yeah, Will Poulter. He was in Revenant. He was in Midsommar.
He was in School of Comedy. Remember that sketch show?
Good film.
Sketch TV show where it was all like school children.
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah,
The title rings a bell.
it was all right. They had some good. They did some good characters.
Guilty pleasures. Jesus.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Dumb and Dumber, I think, is one of the best comedies ever made.
Tropic Thunder. That would
also
always
a
be.
film.
Tropic Thunder's unreal.
Whenever someone asks like, "What's your favorite comedy?" It's Tropic Thunder. I think
Other
it's
guys
genuinely.
are up there for me.
Other Guys, I don't like anymore. I used to like it, but I watched it again, and I really didn't like it. I think I just don't like Mark Wahlberg or Will Ferrell.
Mark
just don't like
Wahlberg. He is the same person
Who's
every
that supposed to be?
time. Not Mark Wahlberg.
It's someone in a
Yeah.
The
only thing I can say is like
What's
fucking
the-
teddy
what's
bear.
Yeah, what's the accent? Oh,
Boston.
Boston, yeah, Boston, Massachusetts. That's it. Yeah. He used to beat me up in
Teddy
kindergarten.
bear. Teddy bear.
The only
He was in
film.
Ted, wasn't he?
Yeah, Ted. Yeah.
Good film. Never seen it.
Oh, not a good
The
film.
only
Awful.
films set
Shocking.
in Boston that I thought were really good and the accent didn't bother me at all were Good Will Hunting and Manchester by the Sea.
War of the Worlds is in Boston, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, because there's a key plot point in that his parents live in Boston and he's trying to get there. And he gets to the house. You know, he gets to his parents' house. And the street is just dead. That's in Boston.
He was trying to get to his parents. I thought he was trying to get to his ex-wife to deliver the kids to them. I didn't realize he was trying to get to his parents. I mean,
he's trying to get to his parents. I don't know if that's the crucial, but he is trying to get to his parents at some point in the film.
In Boston.
Boston.
Right. Boston.
That film fucking scared me as a kid.
Yeah, the noise of the alien.
Yeah, I remember being in the
Tripods.
cinema and
Yeah. It was loud.
when the fucking the reverb fucking
Yeah. I actually
Oh,
don't
God,
think it's
it
too
made-
bad of a film. It
Do
got
you
a lot
remember-
of shit. It got slating, but I think it's pretty good.
yeah.
Do you watch Cinema Sins, Christian?
Used to. Got a bit bored of the shtick at this point.
I
'Cause-
don't, because I hate it, because I don't. I just get nothing from it. It just depresses me. But I watch the antithesis, which is Cinema Wins, which I really like. There's a guy who goes through films that typically people don't like and picks out all the good stuff in them. I really rate it.
That's pretty good. That's good, yeah. I like that.
Did
it's
you ever
like
used
he
to watch
did one for World of
Cinefix on YouTube? Sort of American
Is that like-
group of people that are obsessed with films.
Is that like how they would do it better or something?
No, it getting your fix. So it's like it's top 10 something. It's just like game ranks, but for
Oh, I see.
Film.
Yeah.
and I used to watch it a lot.
Watchmojo.com.
It just got a bit sickly because they just know so much about film, and
Mm.
it's like they've seen every film ever, and they
Yeah.
can just
You mean you
reel
haven't?
off their tongue like niche fucking comparisons and all sorts. And it's like it just became too much for me.
Mm.
So, but
Yeah.
we were
it
talking about
becomes a
War of
bit
the
intimidating.
Worlds, and then in the cinema,
Due
right?
to War of the
Fuck
Worlds,
you, bro.
failure
Interrupting.
is what I label you.
Are we still recording?
Yeah. We could maybe split this into 2 episodes. Maybe I was thinking.
That's
It
good
is
meta commentary. People like us talking about the future edit mid.
I like it. I think it's. I think it's
too.
cool.
No, that was genuine. Yeah, I'll speak to HR about it.
So in the cinema,
Susie keeps telling me for you to stop staring at her tits. What's it?
But they're so nice and big and juicy.
Go on, TJ.
So yeah, we watched War of the Worlds.
Were you
in the
mad
cinema.
about me interrupting?
Nah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I'm gonna fucking mute you. But yeah, so we watched War of the Worlds and oh my god, it's not funny. We've done the joke like 10 times in different episodes.
I actually didn't mean to interrupt you. I was trying to lead you into it.
Right.
Timing.
So War of the Worlds.
Okay. Yeah, so we watched that in the cinema, and that scared us when we were. Well, we must have been 12. Oh no, 12
It
A,
came
so we
out-
could have been younger.
It was 2005 when it came out.
Right, so I would have been 50.
You'd have been about 6, 7, something like that.
Nope, probably not, because I don't want to give away details of my personal.
Oh, right, sure.
Yeah, because some of us don't have our birth years in our gaming tags, you fucking nonce.
Yeah. So cue me in again.
The War of the Worlds.
Yeah. So we watched it in the cinema, and that shit us up when we were younger. Do you remember going to watch Woman in Black? In the cinema?
Yeah,
went
that.
I
That
saw
was
Woman in Black
horrifying.
2 in the cinema, having not seen Woman in Black 1.
Interesting.
I mean, you don't
Stupid.
need to in the
Film.
first one. You don't. It's a shit film. Woman in Black 2
Woman in
is
Black 2
awful.
is terrible. The
It's
first one is
dreadful.
fucking scary.
The first one's great. It really is great.
Yeah. It really showed that Daniel,
did have some
that Harry
scary bits.
Potter was really like spreading his wings. It's weird
Yeah.
they didn't use any of his magic.
Yeah, 'cause,
Weird.
the whole time I was shouting out in the cinema, "Use your wand! Yeah, your wand!"
Where's
Like it.
Voldemort?
People were
Accio.
saying, "Shut up!" Wouldn't get out, idiot. I was going, "He's
Yeah.
such a fucking."
Yeah, I was trying.
Yeah.
I was trying desperately to find a link between that and Hogwarts. Struggling, but good film. No, seriously. There's that moment where she glides across the fucking room.
I slid down in my seat.
I
when that
did.
happened.
Yeah.
I wanted to get away.
So it
Still
raises an
horrifies
interesting-
me. Still
It
horrifies
raises an interesting point, because I was masturbating throughout the entire thing in the cinema.
me.
No, it raises an interesting point with horror films. So this probably makes a lot of sense, given my previous conversations about films and what I do and don't enjoy, etc., and how I watch them and why I watch them. But I don't really get horror films.
In the
I
previous
don't
episode.
enjoy them.
Sorry.
I don't enjoy them, and I don't get the appeal of like deliberately being scared and unsettled.
I don't either.
No,
Like why?
But what I do like is well-made horror films.
I mean, I get that you can
Those are the ones that I
appreciate. Like, there's art that you don't like, but you can appreciate the skill that went into it.
Yeah, exactly. When it's
But, like-
if I don't like it, but it's well crafted and really well done, I like it. But horrors and comedies are probably, if I were to class like best worst genres, probably the two least favorite genres of mine. Because
Genres. Like, why'd you say it like that?
what do you say?
Genres.
Genres. Okay,
I say
fine.
Genres.
The French pronunciation.
I don't know.
Le Genres.
I've always
Isn't
just
genre
genre just a French word?
Probably.
Yeah, genre is probably the French way of saying it.
To any
Anyway,
French
so-
person
I say it the
listening,
British
fuck
way.
You, we're better.
Genre.
Yeah. Genre. So yeah,
Yeah,
horrors,
comedies and
and
horrors.
it's like torture porn films, like just gruesome for the sake of gruesome, gratuitous. It's
Yeah.
bollocks. I've zero interest. It's boring.
Hostel.
Saw.
Human Centipede. Yeah. So yeah, I agree in that. Like, Mozza, when you said you don't see the appeal in just being scared for being scared's sake, that's true. That would be a shit film. So like the James Wang films.
James Wan. There's no G.
Oh, sorry.
Wrong.
The innate racism within me.
No.
No, yeah. Sorry,
You know
I thought
he
it.
directed the first Saw.
Yes, yeah, and he also did like Insidious and
He did Insidious,
In-
Conjuring.
Conjuring and all the fucking Conjurings and all the fucking Annabelles and all that shit. He's like the Ubisoft of films. One hit
Yeah. Yeah.
and sticks to the same
Absolutely.
thing. And so like the stories are shite, and so the horror aspects are the only thing that grabs people for those films. It's the only reason you're watching it. It's for the jump scares. It's for the like
I don't get I just
freaky
don't get
looking
jump scares.
monsters, right? But what you
Yeah.
need a real good plot premise. You need a reason for the monsters. You need all the exposition. So films like
Well, exposition was bad. Christian just said it was bad, and he knows everything about films.
That's not
wait,
true.
I might be wrong about what exposition means. I thought that means. Oh, I might have used the wrong word. You need, lore, effectively.
Yeah.
You need a real detailed background or set in the scene and character depth and all
A
sorts.
story.
To make a real horror film. So like The Exorcist,
Mm.
you're not watching it. Well, I mean, you are watching it for the freaky scenes, but the whole film in itself, the purpose of all the characters, that's what makes the film great.
Yeah.
The animatronics tend to get a little freaky. Yeah.
Well, then again,
I mean,
things like
it's
Evil Dead. Evil Dead's is a good example for something to talk about, horror-wise.
Evil Dead is a cracking horror film.
But then again, like I get the difference between good and bad horror films, as you explained quite succinctly there. But at the end of the day, I'm either being jump scared with a film that has a bad plot, or I'm being psychologically unnerved and jump scared by a film that has a good plot. Neither of which are a good time.
The second one sounds like a good time, to be honest.
No,
with
it
you.
doesn't.
But then
If it's got a good plot and you're getting psychologically and impacted, like it's done its job as a horror film.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not
again,
a good thing.
You have to be in the mood.
Yeah, but I don't want to be. Right? You ever? It's like the way I feel about it. You might watch a documentary or something, or a TV show or something, and it's about like some horrible disease. And it's like 1 in a trillion people get it, and this is the only guy who's ever got it ever. But it's just like the worst thing imaginable.
Like
And you watch
embarrassing
that,
bodies.
and you watch that and you go, "Fuck, what if that's me?" And then you get this existential dread for the next few days, like really worrying that, it might be you.
This might just be more about you than the average person.
I want to.
Maybe.
I don't get
hear where he's going
existential.
with it.
Like when I see a guy with the world's smallest penis, like I'm just thankful that it's not me.
Yeah, but do you not like get a bit of existential? Like, if you watch videos about car crashes, if you watch a lot of videos about car crashes, you not then get a little bit more worried about crashing your car.
Sure, because you're more informed about it and aware of the repercussions and the possibilities that are happening. But where are you going with it in terms of horror films? Are you saying that you feel
But
like
why would I want that? That's not an enjoyable feeling. I don't like that feeling. I don't like.
Well, they're not real. I mean, there are some real life horror.
I know they're not real.
They're not real. But there are
Bad
some
dreams
people,
aren't real.
It's
Doesn't mean
like
it's miserable.
it's like adrenaline junkies. People want that.
Yeah, but that's a good thing. That's a nice experience. That's
Is
a
it?
positive thing.
Yeah, but
Climbing up
it's
side
the
of
same
fucking
chemical.
chimneys.
Same chemical pumps through your body.
Yeah.
You should get the
Adrenaline.
same. You should technically get the same feeling as doing a
It's
skydive.
not, that's such a
roller
bad
coaster.
comparison because it may be on a technical
sorry.
level that adrenaline is in your body being produced because of horror movies or adrenaline, but like you don't walk out. It's a different cocktail. Like there's other chemicals and stuff, and they're different.
Gox.
But secondly,
Sorry.
you don't walk out of a fucking cinema going, "Fuck yeah, I overcame that really difficult thing. I got this real sense of accomplishment because I'm an athlete and I did this really difficult physical activity." You come out of it going, "I'm gonna die in my sleep tonight because there's a demon that's gonna slither out from underneath the bedroom door and rip my insides out." I don't want that.
What's
when you watch-
the
why I don't
most
want that.
recent
When you
horror film
watched-
you've seen? What's the most like?
When you-
What's a horror film that you enjoy? Is there any?
No, I've never enjoyed a horror film.
Have you
I
ever
think-
seen
which
one?
ones have you seen? I mean,
Woman in
You
Black
watched-
2.
Yeah,
I think
that's a
I've seen
film.
Cabin in the Woods, but that's not a
film.
horror
That's
film,
good.
is it?
That's good.
it's a comedy.
It's a
Yeah.
comedy.
It's also a
It's
porn
a
film.
satire, isn't it?
I don't mind the sort of slasher thriller ones where they're like light-hearted porn subplot funny. But that's not really horror, is it?
Sorry. Oh, right.
Are you talking about the
right.
film X? This new film.
I don't know
There's
what
a-
that is, so no.
There's a new slasher horror film where a group of young people go out to make a porn film, and the people who are hosting the farmyard where they're filming this on are actually slasher killers. And yeah, I thought you were just explaining that film.
No, I haven't seen that.
It looks like a fucking bad film, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really watch horror films. So
Christian, what's the best horror film you've ever seen? Or, like, what's a really good one?
There's 3. It's a toss-up between The Exorcist, The Fly, and The Evil Dead. They're all very gory and makeup. None of it's CGI, which is a big thing for me.
Why do you like that? Like, what do you... I don't know why you like watching those films.
Because like I say, I'm impressed by the craftsmanship on it, and so when I'm watching it, I'm like, fuck, how was that done? Like, I watched a documentary on how they made The Exorcist, for example, and I know that when they go into perform an exorcism on the main character, they're all breathing really, you know how your air goes cold, it vaporizes when you're in cold environments. Well, they actually built the set of the bedroom surrounded by 4 refrigeration units, and so the set was absolutely fucking freezing, and all the actors had to act under those conditions. And the girl who was getting an exorcist was only wearing a fucking nightie, and she had to deal with it. And so I like watched the film knowing that, and I'm like, that's so fucking cool. And I watched a whole documentary on how they made The Evil Dead, so I saw how they did all the practical effects and the angles, and that was sick. And so,
yeah, I mean, like, I get that,
yeah.
but there's
we're deviating a little bit from what we're trying to get to the. We're trying to understand.
There's nothing
purpose of horror film.
Yeah, there's nothing unique about horror films in that regard. So you could do that for any other genre of film.
Yeah,
true.
Seeing behind the scenes.
True.
So I'm gonna bring up Walking Dead as an example, because the first season, so like when it came out, I might be speaking for everyone, it's generally quite scary because it's it's a zombie apocalypse.
It is the scariest
it's quite harrowing
in terms of zombies.
And then as time gets on, it's less scary, so that the reason why you're watching it isn't the fear factor. It becomes purely storytelling, right? And the characters, right?
Yes.
But this is a horror series. It always will. It's always going to be considered a horror drama, like, because it's a horror plot point, a theme, horror theme. But I think it's a good example of why the overarching theme and the characters and the storytelling and the purpose for everyone is really important to make it actually good. And it's not just about being scared.
That isn't enough. That isn't enough. Yeah. Just being scared. It's just made me think. Is the film about scaring you as the person, or is it about putting yourself in the character's shoes and being scared for them, and then being thrilled when they succeed? So, like, if you put yourself in Rick's shoes and he succeeds in those first 3 episodes, that's really exhilarating. But if you think to, like, Insidious, I feel like the film is trying to scare you, the viewer. What do you reckon?
I think imagination is the most powerful tool. So filmmakers who make horror films, the most scary ones are the ones where there's a lot of blanks that your mind fills.
Implicit fear.
And I think the idea is that it makes it so that you're picturing yourself in the scenario, because that's the most scary thing. Because it's not scary is that you get secondhand fear from watching someone do something scary. But if you watch something and it's like so immersive that you're imagining yourself in that situation, that's even worse.
Yeah. But then my question is, which is the better? So is it for you to put yourself in the position
Better in terms of it's scarier is when it's you imagining yourself in that position.
Yeah.
And then as a horror film, I
for
guess
entertainment
that's the
value,
purpose, so
or for quality, it's to put yourself in the position of the character, or to think
I'm
of
not
the
the guy
character.
to ask. I don't get entertainment.
What do you
from
think,
horror films.
Christian, about that?
It's quite a hard question, I think. I don't think that can be answered
Cop out.
quite cut and dry.
Yeah,
No, it's not. It's
bullshit.
not. No, because I'm gonna try, but I don't think I'll get everything that I think said. It definitely depends on the film. So, like you were saying, you think which one was it that was scaring the
So like the
characters?
Insidious types. No, scaring the characters is like Walking Dead, Rick.
Right,
Like-
yeah. What, yeah, sure. Yeah, because I think that's better. Because I think that is harder to do, is because you're making the viewer empathize, which means you've created a very good character, really. You've created someone that they actually are invested in, and then you get scared for them, and that brings up your adrenaline and all this sort of stuff. If it's just jump scares and you're not really invested in the characters, you're more invested in just the plot, like this is A to B to C to D, and then it's a scary situation they're in. That fucking red and black faced demon from Insidious is appearing again, and the music is there and it's scaring the viewer. I think you're right, that film does scare the viewer. I think that's cheaper and easier to try and do. And so I think it's better to go the other route because it's harder and it has a bigger payoff.
Yeah, I think after saying it, it's a bit reductionist to have like that's the be all and end all. It's either one or the other. But I feel like I've gotten I feel like I've gotten somewhere with what makes a good horror. I think it has to be. You have to make characters good enough that you can really put yourself in and like feel what they're feeling, and not and the film shouldn't be focused on just scaring you, because that's quite a surface level skill. And like you said about music and stuff, it's like some sort of common knowledge in it where like there's certain pitches of music that gives a sense of dread. And so it's a cop out to use it. It makes it really easy to make a scene scary. To use like fucking those classic noises. So yeah, I'm amazing. I cracked it. Next question.
What's your favourite film?
My favourite horror film?
No, film.
Just film in general. You know, I know I've had a lot more time than you to think about it. I don't know. When I was first getting into films, I was really into Brian De Palma stuff.
Have you seen Casualties of War?
Yeah, I have seen that.
That's a good film.
It's Innocence. Innocence first casualty of war.
And like I've said a lot, like Dog Day Afternoon's like an incredible film.
Dog days are over.
But I don't know. I think I do have a new answer, but I'll have to think about it some more.
It definitely changes a lot. Like mine could have been Jeremiah Johnson. It could have been loads of things. Yeah.
Guess we'll never know. DJ's favourite film is available on Patreon.
Yeah, pay me. Pay me for the answer, you little scrubs.
What your favourite films are.
Yeah, and if they're generic, I'll delete the comments.
Yeah.
Anything with Quentin Tarantino, getting blocked, mate. Blocked, banned, spammed, and doxed.
Quentin Tarantino, Martin Scorsese, just generic good products that everyone fucking likes.
Ooh, he swears a lot and says the N-word. Ooh, he's black. Ooh.
Oh dear. I mean, we're not discounting that like Quentin Tarantino films are good, but it's just they're very popular, and
Liking them is cringe because lots of people like them.
yeah. Well, it's not like it's just like saying that it's your
It is
favorite is a bit. It's like let's say The Office is your favorite TV show.
It's like saying
it's
Bohemian
like-
Rhapsody is your favorite song. No, it
yeah,
it's-
yeah.
You just think you're cool.
It always brings to me. It's like, do you not have some individuality about you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Haven't you discovered something fresh or new, different about film, like that's quite personal to you? You know, have you not found a film that no one else has seen?
And have the individualism and the moral courage to like what you like and own it. I like Kung Fu Panda. My favourite film. Welcome to my
Fucking loser. One pathetic loser.
You know, they're making
Or-
another Kung Fu Panda.
What you should do?
They are. They're making Kung Fu Panda 4, baby.
Really?
Can't wait.
Or
Yeah.
4 films about Kung Fu
There's
Panda.
another option for you to
They
do
made
it.
4 Shreks.
Why
could-
do
you
you
could
hate
say,
the fact that
"Hey,
things that do
shut up.
well and are
Shut
good
up."
get made more of? Why do you hate that?
If it doesn't need a
Yeah, no
sequel,
answer.
then it shouldn't have a sequel. Make a new IP.
I have an answer, but I didn't know if TJ wanted to say his thing.
No one cares. No one cares about it. It's too late now.
Yeah,
It's
no.
gone.
All I was going to say, viewer, is your fourth option is you could say a film that's like really fucking arty and pretentious. That's not really your favorite film, but you could say it's your favorite film to be cool,
War
and we'll instantly see through the cracks. Yeah.
I'll see through
If you
your
say something by fucking Jean-Luc Godard, you're a fucking liar, mate. Okay?
crap. What, the guy
You
from
don't-
Star Trek?
Yeah. Same one.
Jean-Luc Picard.
You say La Haine, which is actually a pretty good film. It's no one's favorite.
You just outed yourself as a massive.
Yeah, I've seen through those cracks.
Yeah, my
Why'd you say
favorite
it
film's
like that? He's your brother.
Eraserhead. So yeah, go on.
Eraserhead.
Yeah, nice piece of shit.
I
You
like
asked-
Thief. That's my
You
favourite film.
asked. Oh yeah, great film. You asked why I don't like films that are successful and make loads of money, so they make more of them.
Yeah.
It's because when they make these sequels, I'm sick and tired of the lack of effort put into them, because they're just
Oh yeah,
riding
yeah.
on the
Dark Knight was
coattails.
really low effort. Right on the coattails of Batman Begins, to be honest.
I'm not. Again, you can't tar it all with the same brush here. I'm just saying. the
You literally just did
majority-
that.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to say now that the majority.
Incredibles 2. Incredibles 2, not as good as Incredibles 1.
Finding Dory. You know, it's just everything's got to have.
You
fucking
don't need
sequels.
4
They-
Toy Stories.
They can't just let things be what they are. You know.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's a
Can't just
question.
let
Okay,
things be.
but here's a really interesting question actually. So, I mean, I don't know how comfortable you're talking
Don't
about
break
this,
your own
so this
wank
may have-
yourself off.
this may have to be cut. But you're making a film. We all know it. You mention it all the time.
It's a poem.
Let's say you make your film, right, and you really enjoy making it, as I'm sure you actually do. So you really enjoy making it, and it does really well commercially and critically. So not only have you made a film that you really enjoyed making, but it's a film that people love, and it's a source of income for you. Would you not be motivated to make another one?
No, I'd be motivated to make another film, but not a sequel to the film I
But
made.
what if there's more of that universe to expand on? What if you haven't finished with the characters?
I'd probably give it to someone else and they can crack at it, but I wouldn't want my name attached to it because I've said what I wanted to say with the first film, and I think that's what it's like. You look at Joker. I think that
I'm worried about Joker too.
I think that
Electric Boogaloo.
what they set out to achieve with Joker, they achieved. They did it really, really well, and that's now made Todd Phillips, to me, look like a really good potential writer, director who isn't just about, you know, films like Road Trip, Hangover, Due Date. You know, he's actually got shit he has to say and give. And I want to see what else he has. I don't want to see him just ride on the fucking waves of Joker and be a one-hit wonder who just keeps tarring away and trying to recapture that lightning in a bottle. I want him to do other things.
So it sounds like your criticism stems from the fact that people are just like selling out, basically. What if he's not selling out? What if he genuinely wants to make another one?
Yeah, I think a good point is if there's gonna be sequels, it needs to be pre-planned. Yeah, it needs to be a pre-planned sequel.
What, you mean like all of the MCU?
I mean, if they are, I'm surprised if they are.
I'm pretty sure they're not.
Yeah, but I am wagering. I don't know, but I wager that the Dark Knight trilogy was a pre-planned sequel, like a trilogy. I mean,
yeah.
And that's why it fits. And if it came out that there's going to be a fourth one, that would be an absolute shit show. But I wouldn't actually be surprised. In this day and age, I would not be surprised that would happen.
So I think a good example of that is the Bourne films. Because the original Bourne trilogy, fantastic bit of film. I think they're fucking brilliant. And then they made the fourth one, and I still like it as a film, but it would have been better left as a trilogy, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then they made another one with Jeremy.
We're in an era of
also fine,
reliving things,
but,
bringing things back to life.
But,
Blade Runner.
Yeah, but here's
sequel to Blade Runner. Not needed.
Yeah,
Disney
yeah,
fucking live action remasters.
Right, okay, yeah, we get it. Fucking no one cares. But here's the
whole point of this.
Yeah, but here's the great thing that I think you're missing, crucially, is that so in this world we live in, going back to the Bourne example, there is a original Bourne trilogy, and then there are 2 extra films, right?
Yeah.
You can just choose not to watch them. Right?
Yeah.
But if you want to, they exist. So that's it's just better.
Right.
They could have focused that time, energy, money into something better and new.
How do you know?
Yeah.
I don't
what
think
do you mean? How do I know? It's a fact.
A given at all.
There's energy. Energy was consumed to make that product, which could have been consumed to make a different product. How was that?
But A, you don't know if it would have been better, and B, like the people who put the effort,
it might not have been better,
product,
but it couldn't have been.
That effort they put into it may have only been available because they wanted to make that specific thing.
No,
for example,
with the examples we're given, there's no way that it was a passion project. Why? Because it's a fucking sequel on a fucking series of sequels that was used. It's used just for nostalgia trips and hey, remember this.
What, you think Endgame wasn't done out of
I'm not talking about
passion?
Well,
just an example.
I don't think any fucking passion.
I think you're wrong.
It's still not making money.
Well, the first one certainly wasn't, because Marvel wasn't. Superhero movies were mid, and Marvel wasn't anything in 2008.
Yeah,
the Incredible Hulk flopped. It wasn't a good film.
The only one I'd say that was possible is the first one, and then after that, it was made more by producers rather than filmmakers. It was producers crafting the MCU.
Do you not just feel like
the best way to milk it?
Do you not feel like your cynicism just makes life more miserable?
No.
It protects me from poison.
Makes me feel more. It makes me miserable. Your cynicism makes me miserable. Imagine if I was cynical.
That's because you're
miserable as fuck.
Your emotions are very impacted.
Franchise films.
That's because I take your opinion seriously. Because you're my friend, so value them.
Ooh.
Oh, we're friends now. Ooh.
I pay you to talk. Okay, that's all the viewers need to know.
I'm stealing your channel.
I don't pay him. I can't afford to pay him. You pay me and I'll pay them.
I actually pay you at the moment, yeah.
You pay me, man.
They pay me for a Minecraft realm
that I'm playing right now.
That I pay for. Because we're in too deep.
Minecraft.
Well, I've really enjoyed it.
You're cool. I've really enjoyed it too. I think we've had some really great discussions, got a bit serious.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Discovered that you two are both really not really very smart or have good opinions.
That's not a discovery.
That
was known. That was feigned for the purposes of recording.
Yeah.
So for people listening.
Click the title. Big news, shock, 3 a.m. Amogus potion, Qwak Fug are actually stupid.
Yeah. We knew this. We're just fabricating it. We have to embed it into the lore.
Now the cat's out of the bag.
What's funny is the viewer doesn't know that I'm the one out of us who just watches anything and gets entertained, and Mozza is actually the film snob, but we've switched roles.
I'm so good at acting. I pretended I liked the MCU. Do you know how hard that was?
I know. I absolutely love the MCU.
Who's your favourite MCU character?
Who's the fittest?
Definitely Mr.
Black
Universe.
Black Widow all the
Mr.
way?
Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I don't believe in the male gaze, but Black Widow in them tight leather pants. Oh.
Don't believe in the male gaze. It's 2022. The gays are everywhere.
My favourite superhero, Ant-Man. Definitely the best.
He's just got a super suit.
It's not MCU, but I quite like the Flash. In the DC films.
Because you like the actor.
Yeah, I like Evan Peters.
It isn't
Ezra Miller.
I want to be Jeffrey Dahmer.
No, yeah.
Isn't Ezra Miller a massive criminal now?
No, yeah.
Who the fuck's Ezra Miller?
Guy who plays the Flash.
You're thinking of someone else, TJ. The Flash is a Marvel character.
No, the Flash is a DC character.
Oh, sorry. Right, yeah. Okay. You're thinking of the one from X-Men.
Yeah.
What's he called?
Silver.
Silver something.
Oh, right.
What's his name?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. In X-Men.
The one who, yeah.
They all just fucking copy each other, don't they? You've got a guy that can run fast. We'll have a guy that can run fast.
Silver Bullet or something. Because he's in Marvel as well. Because
there's only so many superpowers out there to choose from.
There's only so many. They're literally made up, and you could make up an infinite number of fucking superpowers.
Misfits does it right. They do mental superpowers, like the guy who just controls milk. That's so good.
Yeah.
That's
a very good story.
Like low-key superpowers.
Yeah.
Like there's always a seat free on the bus.
Well, what
all right, yeah. To finish off the episode, what would your shit tier superpower be? Like a real fucking wank one.
I'd be great at every video game.
That's pretty good. You can make money on that.
You could literally make millions. Yeah, that's not a shit tier.
I would want one where I can always slide down banisters and hop over fucking bollards and shit that's perfectly. Awesome. Like an awesome fucking just seamless vaulting shit. I can always vault stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Every time I'd have it so that every time I go to unplug my phone from charging, it's perfectly on 99.9% charge.
Well, so you can just plug it in, then instantly plug it out, and it's on 99.9.
No. So I plug it in and then go to charge and do stuff or whatever, and then whenever I need to unplug it, it just happens to be on 99%.
Okay.
Yeah. But what Christian said could be true.
I think.
What Christian said could be true. Or else because if you say that's not true, then that superpower is actually a curse because you'll be forced to unplug your phone at 99.9%. Because if you're not in control, the phone's in control. And so you'll be in the middle of shit, and then your body will just be fucking moving towards the fucking charger to unplug it at 99.9. So
I guess I
definitely choose Christian's way of that. Definitely.
Yeah.
If I'm picking
shoelaces never come undone.
I was thinking whenever I spread anything on toast or make a sandwich or something, the spread goes immediately straight to the edges.
Oh, the butter doesn't rip the bread. That is top.
It doesn't.
Tier.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That is actually top.
It doesn't rip the bread and it goes straight to the edges.
Every time you come,
sidekick.
It's like a 44 Magnum.
Oh.
Like the cum shot is just like.
So I kill the woman every time.
Yeah, she dies.
Hey, I'll tell you what. That was a good amount of time before it returned to sex. So,
we did pretty well.
That's a pretty good way to end the episode or series. I suppose
despite what we talk about, we are still Qwak Fug.
We are still virgins.
Please have sex with me. All right.